welcome to Be Still and Know with Adam. Today's video is going to be all about why I endorse Senator Bernie Sanders for President of the United States in 2020. So, the first reason why I endorse Bernie Sanders is because ever since he was young, he's always been a civil rights advocate. And one thing for me that is very important in somebody, in a presidential candidate, is knowing that they're going to stand up for people. So Bernie Sanders actually was a very young man when he started activism, when he was at the University of Chicago, and he actually has an arrest picture where he was protesting school segregation, and he actually got arrested in the 60s for that. So that's the first reason, is he's always had a strong history of standing up for the people. The second reason why I support Bernie Sanders in 2020, or endorse Bernie Sanders in 2020, is that Senator Sanders cares about people in the most basic of ways, and that includes people's basic needs, including health care, including child care. He wants to provide health care for all United States citizens, and help have some kind of national system where all the prices will go down, and hopefully people won't be having to wait so long for treatment, or go without treatment, or even sometimes die because they can't afford medication. And so Senator Sanders wants to help with that. He wants to provide child care for all people, because you can't have a productive society with productive citizens if you can't raise the children in an affordable way. And if people are working all the time, how are they supposed to watch their kids while they're at work? So childcare is something that people can't even afford, and a lot of people are actually, one of my coworkers even, he went without working for a few years so that he could actually stay at home with his kid because it was cheaper than having childcare. And so that's just something that I believe is necessary in the United States, is to have childcare provided for all parents. And another thing that Senator Sanders has got me hooked on is his promise to erase all student loan debt. So I went to college, I have a master's degree, and one thing that I left college with was a lot of student loan debt. And it's not that I didn't want to pay it back or never intended to pay it back, it's just that in this economy it's hard to find a job that is high paying enough that I can start making payments, and it just seems like this debt will never go away. It really is slumped onto the back of a generation, these high prices at colleges. I don't know why tuition's gone up this much, but it's not fair, it's not right, and we should have tuition-free college in the United States. We can afford it. So that's another reason why I support Senator Sanders. And then another reason why I support Senator Sanders is his human rights record. He's always stood up for people's human rights. He believes that people should have fair treatment when it comes to the prison system, the justice system. He wants to reform the justice system. He wants to reform the prison system. He wants to get rid of for-profit prisons. He wants to get rid of for-profit colleges. He wants to get rid of for-profit public and charter schools. He just wants to get rid of all these for-profit corporations that are taking over our public sector institutions that they shouldn't be gouging our taxpayer money from, when they're not even effective alternatives to public institutions. So he wants to get rid of all these private corporations trying to gain money off of us and parasite, suck all the wealth they can out of the American people. So he wants to do that. He wants to take on big corporate interests like Big Pharma. He wants to take on, he wants to make sure that the prices of the medicines that we have in our healthcare system are affordable and fair. He wants to take on big oil. He wants to take on the fossil fuel industry, and how they have a grasp on our energy system, and they refuse to let us release technologies that will allow us to have cleaner energy. He wants to take on big monopolies like the big Comcast monopoly. He wants to give internet out to people for cheaper or for free. He wants to provide so many services for people. He wants fair immigration, where people can have a pathway to citizenship and not have to deal with dying on cement floors or having their children taken away. He believes in women's rights, and women's rights to choose with their reproductive system. If they want to have an abortion, that's their choice. It's not an easy choice, but that's their choice. A woman's body is their sovereign property, that they get to choose what they do with it. And so Senator Sanders just has so many policies that I really agree with, and that's why I endorse him for president for 2020. So if you agree with me and if you want to check out more of his policies, you should definitely do that at his website. I'll post that below in the description. But that's why I think that Senator Sanders would be the perfect person to be president, because he's like the opposite of President Trump. He's not trying to, give corporate tax breaks to his buddies that are rich billionaires. Senator Sanders wants to be for the people, the everyday people.
Black and white and Latino, Native American, Asian American, gay and straight, immigrant and native born. We are going to come together around an agenda that works for all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors.
Working parents, children, elderly, people that are sick. He wants to help everybody just have a better life in this country the way that they should be, so that we can all be healthier, more productive, and live better lives in the United States, because that's what we deserve. We work hard, we put tax money into the system. A lot of it is used for things that I don't agree with, like our huge military budget. They're sucking it out to build bases on the moon or something. I don't know what they're doing with it. That's probably what they're doing. But we should be using this money, instead of killing people in other countries, we should be building up our own infrastructure and our own people in this country. And Senator Sanders, I think, will do that. So please vote for Bernie Sanders in 2020, and that's why I endorse him. Again, thank you for joining me at Be Still and Know with Adam. Remember, no matter what comes your way, it's gonna be